5 words or less for every NFL team. Now, try to keep it short, simple, and sweet. We're going to start with the AFC East. First to worst. I mean, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, we get your guys' team out the way early and often. So, we got to start with the best team in the AFC East right now, the Bills. Start off with you, Damian. 5 words or less for the Bills.
Josh Allen is MVP. I mean, even after struggling against Baltimore, I mean, he has still played like the best quarterback in the league, and it's not really even close. I mean, the NFL, like, it's kind of weird with the QB play, even though you made a video about it and all that. But I feel like right now, Josh Allen is still the MVP.
Yeah, he's the outlier.
He really is. Like, I mean,
fortunately enough, he's the outlier.
Jaden Daniels is playing good too. I'll give him that. But Josh Allen right now still looks like the best quarterback in football.
Demand for you?
I had that one, but I'm gonna change mine up because I had a backup one just in case. I'm still scared about their defense. Their defense don't really have that many playmakers. They went against a competent offense and they lost. So, you know, the first few weeks they didn't really play nothing too crazy offensively. I think their defense still got some question marks, but yeah, Josh Allen is MVP, but that would be my main one right there from there.
For me, it might get real. This next couple games are not looking good, and the lack of a star receiver is glaring. At, you know, and Josh Allen, like I said, probably should have shut that trap, man. You don't got to say nothing about your wide receivers not caring about stats, because every wide receiver in reality does care about stats. That's how you make your money. So, in those big primetime games, like against Baltimore, games that are going to swing the conference, you probably got to win those games. Even though they're 3-1, the jury's still on this team. I don't know if they're really, really good or just beating up on bad teams or not.
Right.
I'll kick it off with the Jets. Simple question: Robert or Rodgers? Who do you prefer? Do you prefer the head coach that's been struggling and having these bad quarterback play, or do you prefer Aaron Rodgers, who's 40 years old and potentially only has maybe a season left? They have that. That's the question they got to figure out soon, because at 2-2, I don't see this team really picking anything up and getting on a hot run or nothing. They just look like a team that's around, you know, that mid-level. For you to mind, you could
I'm gonna say no wide receiver. Ooh, no receiver can help this.
No wide receiver can help this.
My bad. No receiver can help this. I think even if you make a trade for Devontae Adams, I think it's more of the play calling. There's no really chemistry with the offense right now. If you can't get Garrett Wilson involved, I mean, you're adding another body there. What is he gonna do? He's gonna have 500 yards this year. Like, it's gonna look crazy. So I don't think another, you know, you're trying a second round pick or even whatever for Devontae Adams is gonna help. I mean, he's a great player, but you still gotta at least work with the talent you got right now.
Damn, you could finish us off with the Jets and go right into the Dolphins after that.
So for the Jets, I said coaching needs a change. I'm not sure if it's 𝗟𝗏. I don't think he's anything special to begin with. But I'm more so looking at Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
You hired him because he was Aaron Rodgers' boy in Green Bay. He ran an incompetent offense last year, and even with Aaron Rodgers back, he's still running an incompetent offense. If your star wide receivers coming out and even saying, hey, we don't do anything different, you see these other teams, and Garrett Wilson really came out and quoted it. Like, you know, like, these other teams are running motion. They're running these different style looks on offense, and we're running the same basic stuff every week.
Very static, very static offense.
Yeah, it's like, so I think right now the Jets need a coaching. They need to change something up before their season's lost, if it isn't already. To get into the Dolphins, man, listen, Tua Tagovailoa is the system. It was not Mike McDaniel. It was not all that BS. It's over with. This is I get that we shouldn't have to have this conversation because Tua shouldn't be getting hurt this much to where we have to see that. But for all those talks about how you could put any quarterback in the system and it's going to work because the offense is so easy, this is proving it. We were the number 1 ranked offense in the league last year, dropping 70 and scoring all these points. We have 39 points this year, through 3 games, and it's not going to get any better. Tua can't play until week 8 against Arizona. So you have to either Mike McDaniel has to give a play calling, or something has to get different. He doesn't even try to adjust. There's still all this motion. There's illegal shifts. There's everything.
But we talked about this. Like, do you want to be player friendly?
Yeah. Like,
or you let them do whatever, or do you want, you know, that coach to hold people accountable?
Because you're gonna lose your team really fast. Like, you know, it's all fun and games when you're winning by a lot and you're scoring all these points. But when all of a sudden your offense is 31st in the league in scoring, then now everybody starts to look at you when you're this offensive guru.
Mine would be sit to it the whole year. If he can't come back to week 8, I don't know how many wins the Dolphins get. There's no point of coming back. If you're like 2-5, 2-6, in my opinion, he already got his head injuries. You bring him back. Yo, I need you to win us 8 straight. Go make the playoffs. Like, that's unrealistic. Yeah. So I would just sit Tua for the whole year. You probably got to take the L this year based on how these next couple weeks look. But if you're, like I said, you got 1, 2, maybe 3 wins. Tua's coming back from head injuries. I don't see the point of playing him. He's going to feel pressure to win all these games. The team is... I would just build towards next year, in my opinion. Considering what situation your quarterback is in.
I'm piggyback right off you. I said it's time to retool. Like, rebuilding is something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what you do the whole overall. It's just time to retool that offense. I'm not sure if it's a thing where we get, you know, maybe they move on from Tua, maybe they don't. There are quarterbacks that are capable, I feel like, of replacing Tua, but you got to look like really, really high. Yeah, you can't look at a Sam Darnold, because I don't think that's logical to go. You know, I would say a downgrade in my honest opinion. It's time to retool. You know, you got guys like Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek Hill, who have plenty of market value. I think you need to explore the idea that there's a good chance we can move those guys and still be a competitive team next year. Right. Like, if they do decide to do that, a lot of teams are stubborn when it comes to stuff like that. But I'll go right into the Patriots. There's work to be done. Now, as good as they looked the first week, they haven't looked that strong defensively since then. They haven't looked good on offense yet. Doesn't really have a ceiling. I'm not sure if people thought it would be a fast rebuild. I never thought it would be. The moment that they said Drake May wasn't starting, I knew it was going to be a fast rebuild. But with problems with Stevenson and, you know, no wide receiver has yet to emerge, but that has also to do with the quarterback play. Offensive line has some injuries. I've seen Andrews out for the year. Like I said, the defense is not looking great. Not to look like the Patriots defense that we know. It's going to be a long rebuild. They need some identity. Still working towards that. But it all starts once you put number 10 in. Once you put number 10 in, it's a wrap. After that, everything will probably fall into place. So,
I would say Christian Gonzalez is a dog. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say.
That's all it is.
That's my highlight. You know, defense got a lot of injuries. Like, I don't even know if Barmar going to play this year. But Gonzalez is the highlight of the defense. He's highlighted the whole team right now. You know, Ramondre Stevenson, this is supposed to be his, like, year. He got 4 fumbles in, 4 games? Yeah. That's a little OD. Like, we can't bench him. Our offense is horrible. So,
can't you?
Antonio Gibson is right there.
Antonio Gibson is right there. Like, you know, I don't know, man. So, that's what I would say. He's the highlight of the team so far. We got a lot of injuries. I think even Duggar just missing a couple of weeks now. So, you know, a lot of injuries. I knew the rebuild wasn't going to be fast. I was going to bring up some college players that I would like with the top end pick. And I ain't going to bring up nobody that's not on the team. So I'm going to say Chris Gonzalez is a dog. And I'm excited to watch him the rest of the season.
Please play Drake May. I'm sick and tired of watching Jacoby Brissett play football. I can understand if you had some, like, actual, like, valuable quarterback out there.
This is not a Viking situation.
Yeah, like, it's not at all. Like, I could see if that was the case. I get you don't want to put your rookie quarterback, like, in harm's way or whatever like that, but at this point, you're a rookie head coach as well. You staking your claim in Jacoby Brissett and letting him play like this and then still saying, oh, that's my starter until I say he's not the starter is not a good look for you. Like, you took this guy with the 3rd overall pick. You got to just let him go out there and play at this point instead of just letting him sit behind Jacoby Brissett. He's not learning nothing behind Jacoby Brissett.
No,
at all.
I honestly don't think there's a realistic reason why you would have ever thought that Jacoby Brissett could teach Drake May anything. Not saying nothing against Jacoby Brissett. He's never led a team to a winning record. He's never done anything in the pocket that makes you be like, oh my God.
He's a journeyman for a reason. He is literally the NFL
like, we
journeyman.
literally all can say that we watched Jacoby Brissett play meaningful football games and we were never happy about Jacoby Brissett playing meaningful football games.
So it's like, that just makes no sense. Like, that's all I can say about it. Like, just play Drake May, please.
Yeah.
Like,
the only reason I didn't say that, I know it's like controversial whatever, is because our O-line is ass.
Oh, yeah. We
wouldn't
want to save his life.
Yeah, like, I get why they were playing him. Like, you're trying to protect him, but
we don't want him, you know what I'm saying, dead. But we do. We would love to see, at least at some point, Drake May touch the field. Moving into the AFC North, like I said, first to worst, we got the Steelers first, and I'll start off with it was always Justin Fields. It was never going to be Russell Wilson, realistically speaking. Now, this is a situation where Russell Wilson can teach Justin Fields some things. Maybe not the things that he's going to need to really focus on, like the holding on to the ball too long and trying to, make the right reads at the time when they're down, because we've seen the first experience. He was down in a game. He played great. Fantasy looked good. If you bet on him, he looked good. But if you were watching the game, he was not a reason why they were really in a position to win. The defense was not looking good, and when the defense is not looking good, the quarterback needs to step up. He took a little bit too long to get there. Colts started getting soft in coverage. Colts are a terrible defense. Yeah. He should have been doing that the entire game, but he just could not get into his rhythm. It was always Justin Fields, but I think it's a matter of will they buy into him or should they, because they have no future years attached to him right now. For you, Damien, how you feeling about the Steelers?
Go get another weapon. Like you gotta. There are veteran wide receivers that are available by trade. If you were just going to keep letting him go out there and throw it to just George Pickens, then, I mean, that's fine. But it's pretty glaring that they don't have anybody else on that offense. Like, Freiermuth's been okay. Yeah. And Darnell Washington's improving, I guess. But if, like, you want to run with just 2 tight ends and 1 wide receiver, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's 40s football.
Like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I feel like at this point, like, you're already you're 3-1. Justin Fields has shown something. And it's piggybacking off what you're like, okay, like, if he is the guy, then just go get another weapon. I'm not saying you got to give up your whole future for one, but there are guys you can go and get that would improve your offense immediately.
I'll probably extend him today.
Yeah.
To realistic, I'll probably extend him today. Before he gets to
before he ends up having an even better year.
Yeah, I would extend him today, to be honest. At 3-1, why not?
I would say commit to Fields at quarterback.
I would say
every week
putting a 𝗘 in or something.
You know what I mean? Every week saying that it's a competition. Like, there's no. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, we preparing for Justin Fields.
Preparing for Justin Fields to start. Just commit. He's 3-1. Commit to him. If he struggles, again, I know the Steelers got a hard end of the season. Then maybe you may have to pull Justin Fields out if he struggles, but he hasn't shown no signs of struggling. You're 3-1. You care about that record being positive. Why not, bro?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say about it.
You can go right into the Ravens if you feeling froggy.
See you in February, man. See you in February. That's what I got to say. Chiefs got a lot of injuries. I think the Ravens match up well with the Chiefs. I had them going to the Super Bowl. After especially what I seen last night.
Yeah.
I would say Ravens, see you in February. I think the run game hit a whole new level. I think Lamar still needs to be a little bit better as a passer. Their play call need to be a little bit better. I think their wide receivers could be putting up way better stats than they do. But especially come January when the weather gets colder and stuff like that, that run game is going to be perfect for them. So that would be my thing.
For me, I'm gonna just say that didn't take long. And they were 0-2. They looked terrible. Is O-line gonna make it? Is Lamar gonna get better? Why did he lose all this weight? If he's losing his O-line, was this? They're back on track. They got 2 big wins. The hardest part of the schedule, they went 2-1 against the 3 playoff teams they played already. And realistically, they're about to play the Bengals, where they match up well every year against them. They beat them all the time. Lamar has no problem against the Bengals ever. It just didn't take long for them to piece it together, and there's still meat on the bone for them to improve with Mark Andrews, with Zay Flowers, with Isaiah Likely, all get more targets. So.
Well, that kind of goes into what I was going to say. I was going to say this offense is too random. Like there's
a lot
no
going on.
Yeah, there's no guy right there now. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are the only guys in that offense right now. You cannot there's no reason I should go out there and see Justice Hill leading the team in receiving yards. 6 catches for 78 yards is crazy. You might as well line him up at wide receiver then. Zay Flowers, who was your first round pick last year, has been minimally involved. I think he has 10 catches for 160 yards so far this year. Mark Andrews has been basically a ghost. Yeah. He barely is running routes. And Isaiah Likely had 100-something yards against the Chiefs and almost had 2 touchdowns. And I haven't seen him since.
Not been featured.
And so, as you said, there's meat on the bone still for this team, and I know they could figure it out. But right now, this offense is just like all over the place. It's hard to predict what they're going to do each week.
How you feel about them Bengals, though?
Ooh. Why won't you pay anybody?
Oh my God! I think we might be on the same page here.
like what is with their hesitation to be like, yo, here's some money. Thank you for making our team better. Yeah. You're gonna let T. Higgins play.
Bye. You get 5 years. Bye.
Literally, I'm not like you're gonna let T. Higgins walk, or you wouldn't want to pay him. He's playing on. Is he on a tag, or is his last year of his deal? I think. And then Jamar Chase, who wants more money, you're basically saying, hey, listen, you could just play. And then you have Jamar Chase coming out and saying, well, then I'm not going to negotiate with you guys. It's over with. You paid Joe Burrow all that money. You went and got these guys to help Joe Burrow. But now you're just going to let all of them go away. And then what happens? You just hope Joe Burrow can make a team good by himself with a bunch of bums. No offense to Yoshi or nothing. Yeah. But that's going to be your wide receiver 1 if you don't don't act right.
Exactly. And Jermaine Burton, who was at probably maxing at 2 targets a game.
Come on.
For you, Demar, how you feel about them Bengals?
I would say pay him or trade him. Your defense is ass, like horrendous, and it's like I don't know what defensive players they've picked up since Joe Burrow been the quarterback outside of Trey Hendrickson, whatever his name is. So it's like if you're gonna put all this like devotion in the offense and not pay them, trade them. Go get some pieces, even your team out. Secondary is bad. You got Joe Burrow that got to play perfect every game, and by the end of the season, wear and tear on his body, he ends up getting hurt. So if you're not gonna pay Ja'Marr Chase, he got like another 2-3 years left on his contract.
Yeah, he got two.
He need to relax a little bit, just a little bit. But T Higgins, if you're not gonna pay him, trade him because his value is dropping. I don't even know how many. I don't even know if he scored this year. Like I think he only played like 2 games.
His best game was last year, but last week. Last year was his best. But last week, still just minimum. Not doing too much. Not doing what he would probably feel like he's worth. I feel like.
So I would either trade T Higgins or pay him.
Yeah, they gotta do something with paying somebody because mine is Chase is worth the money. If Burrow's slowly starting to pick it up, and without Higgins they weren't looking that good. Are you really sure you want to see Burrow lead this offense with Zach Moss as the running back and Yoshi as the wide receiver and Eric all as the tight? Like that doesn't sound like an offense that's ever going to win anything, especially in a tough AFC North. But then if you don't pay Chase, there's conversations to be had. Why'd you pick Chase over Penei Sewell? That'd be the biggest fumble almost ever. Penei Sewell's one of the best tackles in the league. Chase one of the brighter wide receivers. I won't say one of the best because he still has not proved that to me, in my opinion. But when I look at this team, it's like if you don't pay Higgins and if you don't pay Chase, what are we doing? You're 3 years removed out of the Super Bowl. What are we doing? Like, we gotta figure something out. And if it ain't paying Chase, then it better be trading somebody to get somebody. But I'll go right into the Browns and keep it simple. Get rid of Ford. There's things in sports. It's a talent thing or a chemistry thing. This is both. If it's lacking talent, we lack chemistry. It's a bad mix. People are gonna lose their jobs over this. I'm talking like not just because he's playing bad, because he's a terrible person and he's playing bad. So if you're a terrible person, you're playing bad, you got all that money, and you're scared to get rid of him because you're gonna lose money, the easy solution would have been just not to pay a terrible person money. It's just that simple. I'll just leave it at that. I'll let you get into it, Damian, about these.
Piggybacking off yours, when is it Jameis time? At this point, this team might like playing for Jameis Winston more than they like playing for Deshaun Watson, because at this point, like I said, it's not even about the money thing. It don't look like anybody wants to play for Deshaun Watson.
No,
the offensive line, he gets blown up a lot. His receivers drop a lot of passes. I'm not saying that his wide receivers are dropping him on purpose or nothing.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't look like they are happy to be playing with him as their quarterback. Yeah. And Jameis Winston, at this point, with how Watson has played, Watson's been average this year. He hasn't been as bad as he was last year.
Yeah,
he's been average though. But maybe Jameis Winston can run this offense better for Stefanski than Watson has.
I would say bring another lawsuit in. I mean, you paid him that much money.
Where's number 25?
Like bring in another lawsuit.
Speed up the process a little bit.
Come on, you know what I mean? It's tough. He has a lot of money on his contract, so I understand him not just wanting to bench him, but the more you lose games, fans already, kind of 50-50. Like Myles Garrett is in and out. I swear I see him limp every play. I don't know what's going on.
Got two bad ankles.
Damn, man. If I'm them,
terrible.
If I'm them, man, you gotta pay somebody. Like, yo, did Deshaun Watson touch you? Like, let me know. Like, did he look at you?
Get rid of him. So, by any means.
That's what I'll say.
Going into the AFC West, gonna start for the Chiefs. I'll kick it off with who replaces Rice. Now, the question really is Rice out for the year or not? Because the injury status is question. Nobody knows. So what do the Chiefs do? Is it more worthy? Juju? Is the trade for Adams coming? What's going on? Because Pacheco's out, and Rice is out. Kelsey doesn't look great, even though he looked better against the Chargers, but still doesn't look great. I'm worried about these Chiefs, to be honest. I say this with the fact that Mahomes isn't playing great either, and if you lose in weapons to make your life easier,
it's gonna get worse.
There's a good chance that you might miss the mark this year. This might be the year. I don't think the Chiefs are invincible as people like perceive them to be. I just think they got extremely lucky in that Ravens game. I just don't know what the fuck they were running that game to make them want to pass so much against a team that pressures the shit out of their quarterback that sucks against pressure. I just don't understand that. I don't think they make the same mistake this year. But this Chiefs team, I'm worried about all these injuries. I'm not gonna lie. For you, Demond, how you feel about these Chiefs?
I'm gonna say not falling for it again. They looked ass last year, and I was shitting on them. I couldn't wait. I was rubbing my hands. I'm like, they ass. They not gonna make it out the wild card round. The motherfuckers went to Super Bowl and win it. So I'm not gonna fall for it until I see either A, who they play in the playoffs, or B, I see some drastically change with even their defense. Their defense stepped it up when their offense played ass. The defense was playing solid this year so far, even though they lost Snead. So I'm not gonna fall for it again. I'm not worried about them motherfuckers. They got 15 and they got Travis Kelce. So until I see some change with their whole scheme, or they got
one of them get hurt.
That's what I mean. Or they play the fucking Ravens in the wild card round on some crazy shit. I can't fall for it again because they looked horrible last year. Yeah. So that's what I'll say.
It'll kind of be similar to what I said about another team. Trade for Hopkins or Cooper. Yeah. Listen, I mean, if Hollywood Brown is probably not going to play again this year, they've already said that. Unless 𝙗𝙗 Rice had just like a bone bruise or something, we don't know if he's out for the year yet or not. But if he is out for the year again, I cannot see Xavier Worthy being out there wide receiver 1 all day, every day. He cannot be your wide receiver 1. As I said, the Browns are 1-3, Titans are 1-3. These teams, maybe somebody becomes available. Yeah. You don't know. I mean, I don't know what the Chiefs' money situation looks like, so obviously it's just me saying this to be speculative. But you can go out there and get one of these veteran wide receivers. Like I said, there are plenty of veteran wide receivers available. I don't see Adams being on the board because it is a divisional opponent. Yeah. But there are still other guys they can go and get, and I just don't see them trying to struggle through the season again like they did last year with a bunch of bums at wide receiver and hoping for the best, especially when Mahomes has played worse, probably the worst season of his career so far. Yeah. That's how he's looked as a quarterback.
Them motherfuckers finna trade for John Mechie. Let's go.
Nothing wrong with that. At this point, he might be their second best target. So you can go right into your favorite team, the Chargers, name if you like.
You know what? I'm going to defend the Chargers on this one. What does Greg Roman know? Like, why did they hire him? What was Harbaugh's thought process going into the season to think, you know what, let me bring Greg Roman in. You have a quarterback who can throw the ball, and you brought in a run specialist. They look good running the ball, but that passing offense is horrible. Justin Herbert has not thrown for 200 yards yet. And I'm not blaming Justin Herbert for that. Yep. That offense is nasty.
That's a Greg Roman offense.
Yeah, that's a Greg Roman offense. That's why Lamar Jackson, I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit there and say that, but this passing offense should be way better than what it is. I get their wide receivers aren't great, but Ladd McConkey's looked good. Quentin Johnson has looked better than he did last year. There's no reason that Herbert should be throwing for 156 yards a game right now. That Greg Roman should not have that job.
Yeah, he shouldn't. For you, Demond, how you feel about the Chargers?
I ain't gonna lie, Joe is a dog, man. I'll be honest.
Well, he's a top 10 player in the league already.
Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, the motherfucker, like, I don't know if it's in the hips, the legs. I don't know. He just moving with everybody. Like, everybody, he blocked and he just moving with them. Like, it don't matter how quick they is. Like, if Usain Bolt started at the end zone, he started the 50-yard line, he's not getting past him. Like, Usain Bolt's not getting past. I don't know how. Like, he's moving crazy. So that was a great pick out of them. Yeah. I didn't expect him to go there with the wide receiver depth being bad, but it paid out for him. So I'll just say that Joe is a dog, man.
I'll keep it simple. Somebody needs to step up. I don't know who it is, but with the Chiefs injury bug, the AFC West is very, very interesting now. There's no team under 500 anymore. I feel like this is a good time. You can steal the division from the Chiefs. They looked okay against the Chiefs with a lot of things going on. With Herbert's ankle injury, the run game wasn't looking that great. I mean, there's still, things to be desired on this offense. But somebody has to step up. It can't just be, like, realistically, Ladd McConkey's cool. Quentin Johnson looks better, but I don't think that's what you want for your offense going forward. I think you want to probably bring in somebody else or somebody step up. Josh Palmer's been hurt, stuff like that, but I don't think he's going to change. Yeah, I don't think they just change the world. Like, they got to bring in somebody, and I don't know if they do, depending on how this offense is ran. Like you said, Greg Roman this is his offense. This is how he runs it. But I'll go right into the Raiders here. It's grit over talent over there. I mean, realistically, what else can you say? Missing Adams, missing Crosby. I mean, you missing Crosby, you think like they're going to get killed. No. Christian Wilkins stepped up. The whole D-line looked great. Didn't look like they were missing Crosby at all. They're just blowing up the Browns' O-line. So all I can say is this is the Gardner Minshew effect. He's going to win games he's not supposed to. He's going to lose games he's not supposed to. And it's just, that is what it is. It's just a matter of fact of when can he win 3 in a row. Is this the time we win 3 in a row? We don't know. But realistically, you never bet for Gardner Minshew, but you never bet against them. No. So realistically, their biggest thing right now was what's going to happen with Adams. No idea. But I don't see them nothing different changing with his offense with or without Adams, to be honest. For you, Damian, how you feeling about the Raiders?
Trade Adams while you can.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like that's kind of a similar thing. Like it goes back to what you said about the Dolphins. Like retool. If the Adams thing didn't work out, you tried, it didn't work out. Get what you can value wise for him, because you are clearly on the right path with this team as far as how they like to play for you. Like their coach, they want to play for their coach. So even if they don't have all the talent in the world, as you said, they're in games they probably shouldn't be in.
Yep.
So you should go and just start getting your assets right, so that when the next draft does come around, you can go get your quarterback. You can go get another wide receiver. You can start building the roster the way that you want this roster to be constructed.
Yeah.
Because they're still dealing with a lot of guys that Pierce really didn't have a say in.
Yeah, exactly. It's still not. It's not even close.
Yeah, this is not a team that Pierce wants. So that this is the time to start saying, let's get rid of these old assets and start getting ready for the future.
Yep.
Mine it'll be interesting next season, because I feel like I said, they're competing with teams they really shouldn't be. You have a great foundation defensively with your D line. You trade Adams, you get a probably a high second round pick if you could, depending on when or who you trade him to. And you're looking at 3 top probably 40 picks in the draft. That you can go get you a quarterback with that. You can go get you.
Damn sure need a running back.
I said running back.
What's wrong with Zamir White?
Running back. You sign
Us
it.
3 in the committee.
You know what I'm saying?
White,
what's going on, man? You still got free agency. You competing hard, and having your players vouch for you as a coach, that makes players in free agency want to play for you. So,
Exactly. Yep.
You definitely get free agents. I think you building success and a foundation this year, even if you don't make the playoffs or don't even sniff the playoffs. You make it a fun experience for you and your players, and players want to play there, and eventually you get some good draft picks and draft some talent. So that's what I would say about them.
And for the Broncos, you can go right into them.
Enjoy being 500. So I mean, I don't know how many NFL teams you're gonna beat when you have -7 passing yards in the first half.
No,
don't know how many
you shouldn't even be in the game
at all. I don't get that. They don't have no field stretchers. They running back. Javonte Williams has been playing a little bit better. I will say that, but it's like they got the most just no talent. Like I don't know why I would click. Why would I click on a Broncos game? You tell me right now. Like why? What am I there to watch?
There was a comment in that Q video saying defense in football is not boring. But if you tell me you cut on that Jets and Broncos game, hey.
You know what I mean?
You're good.
There's nothing.
We got Sunday ticket in my job. I didn't have it on one TV.
There's nothing to
watch.
watch.
Nobody wants to watch that game.
They got Bo Nix looking like he was supposed to be the 12th pick in the draft. Like he's literally carrying him. Like he running out the pocket on 3rd and 13. This and like, bro, he's doing all this running because nobody's open at all. So I don't know. I don't know why I would tune into a Broncos game, but enjoy being 500 while it lasts. No disrespect, I ain't got no hate against the Broncos, but.
Dude.
Damn, I don't know what's going on. Them motherfuckers.
Sound like you hate them, bro.
Boring ass team.
For me, I would say be optimistic. You're 2-2. You shouldn't be 2-2. The defense is performing. Nick's playing good enough. There's nothing else you can really ask for. You got a 2-game winning streak right now. There's something to be happy about, but you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. You're 2-2. There's nothing really left to be desired on this team. I do think Knicks could be playing obviously better. Like that -7 passing yards is not good. But it's the same Jets defense that we're holding all these quarterbacks to crazy games. So this is maybe the Jets defense slowly starting to emerge, and Knicks is just on the bad part of it. But they still won that game. Somehow he won that game.
It was a bad weather game,
He threw a really good touchdown to Cortland Sutton on the back sideline. So I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at the Broncos like just be optimistic. Yeah. All it is to it.
This defense is filthy. If they continue to play like that, they're in every game no matter what. This is a very similar situation to where it's like, we'll call it like Tua's first 2 years in Miami. Like Brian Flores' defense carried us. Tua didn't do a very lot in those first couple of years. That's kind of what it is with Bo Nix. They're just asking Bo Nix to not throw turnovers. Don't fumble the ball.
And he's not.
Yeah. Just don't turn the ball over, and we're going to be in the game. I mean, I definitely agree he shouldn't have negative passing yards, ever. But that's also their offense too, though. He throws the ball behind the line of scrimmage a lot, So it's unfortunate, like you said, but they don't have the guys to go down the field and get the ball. Cortland Sutton's his one field stretcher. I'm sure defenses are honed in on that because nobody's worried about Lil Jordan Humphrey. or Greg Dulcich.
I'm worried about Lil Jordan Humphrey because why is he on the NFL roster?
Yeah, okay, exactly. And their only other speed guy doesn't get playing time, so it really doesn't matter.
They don't want it. I don't think they want to stretch the field.
Yeah.
Right now. I don't think because Nick's not a good field stretcher in general.
Well, true. And so, yeah, but that's for me. Like, their defense is nasty. If they keep it up like that, Pat Surtain has held every single wide receiver he's played so far to under 30 yards.
I was watching him,
It was horrible. We had him in a
It's
snuggie.
elementary. It's like Garrett Wilson's like one of us, and like against him basically.
Garrett Wilson has weeks, man. I ain't gonna. I feel bad.
He also played He's played some top corners so far
for sure. But I was watching like
he had to play Gonzalez, Snead, Surtain. Like,
man.
His best matchup so far was
that boy Surtain was just reading him like a book. Dude.
Motherfucker swing his arms mad hard trying to
go. Like, bro, Rodgers threw it 2 seconds ago to Allen.
8 seconds ago to like Allen.
He didn't even look at you, bro. Going into the AFC South, we're gonna kick it off with the Texans. I'll start. Overrated doesn't mean bad. It's very, very overrated. I do not think they're a bad team at all. I think it's a good offense, good defense, but they ain't gonna blow you away. They can beat you with the pass, they can beat you with the run, but I don't think they're gonna dominate anybody. This is what I've seen looking at their schedule and thinking about, the fact that Diggs on a 1-year deal. Somebody has to take a back seat. Joe Mixon has to be healthy. He's been relatively healthy for the last couple years, but for the most part of his career, he always been dealing with lingering injuries, and now he's been out last 2 games. You could tell their offense is shifted back to what they were doing last year, passing the ball over the middle a little bit more instead of running the ball. I'm not too optimistic about this team competing right now. I don't think they're ready to compete. I think they're still missing some stuff, but they're overrated, but I don't mean they're bad. I'll go with you, Demar. How you feel about the Texans?
I'm gonna say it may be scary. It may be scary come playoff time because if they're winning games right now, first of all, their division is
terrible.
Not looking good at all.
Right in the next 3 teams was hard.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. So you gotta think they're winning their division. They're probably get a top 4 seed. That's a team that obviously they're not like clicking the best they can be right now. But if it is one playoff game, do or die, you got that much talent on offense. That's gonna be a hard thing to stop. It's gonna be a hard thing to stop, especially if the defense picks it up. They have a defensive minded coach. I think come playoff time, that's gonna be a scary team. I don't think that's gonna be a trap game that maybe the Bills may have to play in the first round, or maybe I don't even know what other teams will make the. It might be a Steelers and Texans first round. I don't know what's going on right now, but I think that's gonna be a team. That's gonna be a team that come playoff time. I think once they click, it's gonna be scary to beat.
Yeah, basically it's looking like the Texans gonna play out of the Ravens and the Steelers kind of thing. Like whoever comes in second in the AFC North.
That's the only teams I can think of. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, man, I said they're lucky their division sucks.
They are, man. I don't think they look good.
Yeah, I say because from what I've seen, like I don't think that they've looked like any special type of team yet. They really got exposed against the Vikings.
Yeah, like
really bad. Even when the Jaguars game was a little bit closer than they probably would have liked it to be, and that's a Jags team that just got blown out the water by the Bills. Like Trevor Lawrence has looked horrible. So I mean, right now, like I said, it's still early. Things change. They could be better. But right now, I'm just saying that they're lucky that literally nobody else in their division is competitive right now.
It's terrible out there right now. Speaking of terrible, how you feel about the Colts?
Do they even like Anthony Richardson?
No.
I don't even care. That'll be 6 words. I'm sorry. I should call him AR-15 so I can shorten it. Like
like number 15?
Yeah, like that was the most incompetent thing I think I've ever seen from an NFL team in my life.
Insanity, dude.
This man went out on a run, got hurt, came out for 2 plays, you put him back in, QB draw. What are we doing? You took this guy with a top 5 pick. This is supposed to be your guy for the next 5, 10, 15 years if you really like him that much. What are you doing? You are putting him in harm's way. This is the guy that already got knocked out for a season, like 4 games in last year, and now he's got a hip pointer for a running quarterback. All right.
Yep. I don't understand. This is a Dolphins fan talking about competence. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's really, really bad if you get that out of him. For you, Demar, how you feel about the Colts?
I'm gonna just piggyback off what Dame said, man. Is it because he's black? Like, talk about it. Like, what's going on? Like, I seen that live. I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, did I miss a play? Like, is that?
Did he get a chance
another...
to warm up into the flood or something?
What
Like,
happened?
did he roll out first or something?
I'm like, yo, is that preseason they talk about?
First and goal.
Like, first and goal. You got Jonathan Taylor.
Who ran 2 touchdowns a week before.
You got Michael Pittman. You know, he just, you know, when receivers complain or get talked about, you know, why is the offense bad, and then he got an answer for it, you already not gonna go off. So, their offense did look better. I don't know how long Anthony Richardson's out, but there's no way you run that play after he just came back. But I think they could pick some wins up definitely these next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
mine is, are they benching Richardson? I mean, Flacco comes in, the offense flourishes a little bit. Without Jonathan Taylor looking like at least a week, I know he's downplaying it as of last thing I read, but how can you really want your young QB that's struggling with accuracy hand the ball out to Trey Sermon? Trey Sermon is, I've been waiting him to break out since he got drafted. Ohio State running back. I mean, realistically, should have been good. Went to the Niners and got his job taken by Elijah Mitchell, who is nowhere to be found.
A one-hit wonder.
So looking at stuff like that, I mean, how can you start Richardson with clear conscience and be happy about it? I know he's playing. It'd be a really good match for him against the Jags, but not the time to be experimenting with good matchups and this and that.
No.
If you go to 3-2 and then, you know what I'm saying, maybe put him back in there, but Flacco came in and made his offense look good. Really, really good. I mean, they didn't look great in the second half, but, you know, Pittman looked great, Downs looked great. So I will be looking for a couple of games where Richardson sits out with that injury, obviously. Moving on to the Titans, Levis isn't the answer.
Damn, bro, you stole my shit word for it.
He just isn't. It don't get much simpler than that. I mean, he's just not the answer. Yeah. He's not good. His team is very capable of being competitive. Their defense looks good. But how do you handle your quarterback not being the answer in week fucking 5? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're on a bye.
Especially when you're an offensive head coach.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure they're on a bye. So, I mean, you got time to figure something else out. Maybe potentially start Mason Rudolph. That sounds insane. For a team that just spent so much money on, like, a Calvin Ridley literally 4 or 5 months ago. I mean, I don't know. But I just know Levis is not the answer for the Titans right now.
That's literally, I worded mine a little. I said Levis is not your guy. Yeah, it's just not. Everything he's done every week has shown that it's just not competent. Literally, I mean, like the on my knees picture, getting teabagged into the ground,
flipping
the dive flick, him on the bench like crying tears. I mean, he's got a crazy picture every week. It's clear that you need to focus. Yeah, that's the best one.
Bro, you're not the main character.
Yeah, bro.
You're for Instagram.
Yeah, it's just, I don't even have anything else to say. Like, it's just right now, like, that's the Mason Rudolph is a crazy start too, but it's got to be better than Levis at this point.
Mine is a little different, y'all. Just a little bit. Levis is not your man. He's not your man. He's not
Will
your
is
QB.
not the man.
Like, I ain't gonna lie. He could have came back that game. They don't admit he could have came back in that game, but Mason Rudolph was looking a little bit better at the offense. They like, I mean, your shoulder good, but it ain't too good. So we gonna sit you out. He was stretching, laughing, jumping around on the sideline. I'm like, yeah, he could have played.
Like, yeah, we won. Oh shit.
What's going on, man? Yeah, that Titans team should be way better. And they got 2 solid running backs. The D-line is good. Their defense, I mean, in general, their team is like not bad.
Yeah, it's a competitive roster.
So their roster's
for the AFC South is a competitive roster.
Just Will Levis is just.
We gotta talk about first of all that pick he threw. Man said I didn't see him. Let's talk about that. I forgot who he threw it to. But that's a big nigga you just threw it to. That's all I'm saying.
You ain't see him. I respect it.
You ain't see him.
We got picked up by Emmanuel Ogbah.
Speaking of things that we did see though, let's talk about the Jaguars.
Who wants to start?
It's time for an overhaul, man. It don't get much simpler than that. Lawrence is struggling. ETN is hurt. The play calling's bad. It just depends what you do first. Yeah. Do you fire Peterson first? Do you replace Levis? Do you bench ETN? Whatever comes first will determine what makes or breaks your team. This team could potentially be in a whole different city, maybe even country, within the next year or so. That's how bad it's looking for this team. Mm-hmm. No identity. No real future. I mean, taking Lawrence at 1 and making him the highest paid quarterback with the struggles that he's had and the lack of playoff success, lack of playoff appearances, not look like he's going to make it this year. They're 0-4.
That's what he had. He has 1 playoff win, 1 playoff appearance.
That was a fluke-ass comeback against the Brandon Staley team. I mean, it's time. It's time to overhaul the entire team. I feel.
I said, where do I start? Because there's nowhere. Because
I ain't even talking about the defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm gonna go into, man. Their defense is just as bad. Like there's no part of this team that looks competent. As you said, there was no identity.
Just said got the wrong Josh Allen.
Literally. Yeah,
y'all need the other.
Go get the other Josh Allen now.
So you like Gabe Davis anyway.
Bro, it's bad everywhere. Like they're lucky that Brian Thomas Jr. has shown flashes because as of right now, he looks like their one bright spot on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah. Because like I said, Etienne's hurt. He was off to a slow start anyways. Literally lost him that first game.
Yeah, that fumble.
That fumble literally lost him the first game. He didn't look great since then. Tank Bigsby's out here taking snaps from you. Tank Bigsby didn't even play a lot last year, so you know. And then their defense is just
and they went so far as to not play him in on week 2 to give you confidence, and you still didn't do that.
Exactly. So. And then their defense, like I said, there's not much to be said about their defense. They don't really have anybody over there besides Josh Hines Allen. And I mean Trayvon Walker, I guess, but you can't tell me even if they took Aiden Hutchinson, that wouldn't fix what their problems are right now. So the team just is in need of a serious makeover, and maybe that means they need to move to another city.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this. I know I said I was gonna bring up players that are on 18, but find a way. Like you're gonna take Travis. You need Travis Hunter number 1. Find a way to get Shador number 2. I don't know. You need to watch. You need the quarterback. You need the wide receiver, the corner. You need the coach. I don't know what's going on. I ain't gonna lie. You need 2 top 5 picks.
That'd be cool though.
Like, you need
Shador and Travis, like yo,
and Dion going out of Jacksonville. Like
yo, you need
not where we started. That's not where we started this whole shit. Let's
Jacksonville State. Yeah,
find a way, bro. Because I don't know. I can't tell you anybody that's gonna be on the Jaguars next year besides Josh Allen. And even then, he probably requested a trade. So.
Yeah, I can't see a reason why they wouldn't be rebuilding.
Bills fans, y'all guys still Gabe Davis. Where's he at?
He getting targets. He
does get a lot of targets.
The ball, he just don't catch the ball a lot. That wraps up the AFC. If you guys like what you're hearing, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe.